Why, hello, YouTube modeling community. That's right, it's the Fat Man from Alabama coming to you from Don's Garage. Well, fellas, here's a little update on my 2002 Pro Street group build sponsored by NYS, Mr. Young Dylan. If you haven't checked his channel out, please do so. Well, like I said, I'm doing a 64 Plymouth Belvedere by Lindbergh. I have mated it with a 70 Dodge Coronet Pro Street kit for the chassis, a couple of engine components, and some other odds and ends. I've about got the chassis where I'm happy with. I do have it set up on the wheels now. This is her final ride height. What it is what it is. I've got decent clearance at the front cross member. The exhaust, once it's under, shouldn't drag the ground. We'll see when that part comes about. I've cut a small hole in the hood just to get an idea of how tall a scoop I've got to build. This is all just kind of sitting there right now. What we're going to do here, you can see I've got a tunnel ram and 2 4s on it. I'm going to go ahead. We will pluck the carburetors off because, like I said, they're just sitting there. We'll get an idea. I'm going to be able to build not quite as tall a hood scoop as I thought I was going to have to, which I'm glad. I didn't want to put a monster 9 or 10 inch on it. Basically, the intake, the upper plenum of the intake just barely breaks through the hood surface, which I'm glad for that. That means all I got to do is clear the carburetors. We'll peel the hood off. Yes, we've got a Hemi in it. Hold on a minute, I'm going to reposition. Alright, here we are, fellas. We got another angle. You can see I've used the tunnel ram from the 70 Coronet. It's just resting on the motor. The engine and transmission and the headers are from the Coronet. We will ease those pieces off. And I think I had a pretty good day working on this thing today. Had a couple of mild setbacks that I had to address. We'll see if we can get the motor out of it because we're fixing to blow this thing all back apart. This is it was a mock-up motor I had laying around, and it's got to have a little more paint work done on it. It's been skint and scuffed and whatnot, but I believe that's the motor I'm actually going to go with. The headers are just lightly glued to it. Checking clearances, which I'm glad I did. You can see the firewall's all smoothed off, looking decent. We're going to pause the camera again and let me get things kind of knocked apart, and we will move on. Well, we'll show you the underside, but I want to pause the camera while I flip things over. Hold on a minute, fellas. Well, here we are with the dead turtle view. You can see the rear suspension is assembled. It's just setting in there right now. Again, this is just mock-up phase. I had a serious clearance issue with the original tie rod and drag link assembly that came with the Lindbergh kit that went right in here, and some serious modifications, and I actually had to cut the one off of the donor chassis from the AMT kit, and this is going to work a lot better. This is also thinner, just looks a lot better. Anyway, I've got to glue it in place, but let's set the rear end out, peel the wheels and tires off of it, and you get an idea of what we've done here. Let me find something to hold this side of my big old meat hooks. And there we go. There is the rear end assembly. Well, we'll get her flipped up here eventually. It's the Curry 9-inch housing from the 70 Super B. The 4-link, everything is all from that kit. Cleaned up and assembled and ready to go to paint. This will get sprayed. They get a couple of quick coats of primer on it. Just gives something for the paint and everything to bite into. Then it'll probably get sprayed a gloss black. The center section, the center part of the housing right here is actually aluminum. So I will do it probably in a Molotov pen to give it a polished look, as well as use the Molotov pen on the springs for the coilovers, and the Molotov pen again here on the 4-link bars. The short axle tubes and all will be black. The third member, the pumpkin, will probably be done in black also. The chassis, not sure on color for the chassis right now, because I haven't picked the color for the body. I got a few colors rolling around in my head, but I haven't made my final decision. As you can see, the chassis fits in the car nicely. Just no fit issues now. It all slides right up in there just like it was made to be. We'll turn her loose. Again, you can see here where it was put together. The two chassis are mated through here. That way I get a lot of structural strength doing this. Works real good. I don't see where there's going to be any breakage problems. Hasn't so far, and I've dropped it twice. And I'm sure I'll drop it again. Also, I've gotten the inner fenders all smoothed up in primer. There was some wiring molded to it. One side had a indentation for the battery box. That's been filled in. It's ready to go. That's the left side. Here's the right side. It's got a little wrinkle in it right in here. I'll block sand this again. A couple coats of primer, then we'll decide what we're going to do at that point. But for the most part, they're nice and slick. I've eliminated, there was holes in it here and here for the kit hinges, which they're static hinges. It's in the up position only. And I'm going to replicate a pin-on hood anyway. So, eliminated the holes on both sides. Like I said, all I wanted it all nice and smooth. The inner fenders, the firewall will be body color once I make my decision on that. Again, back to playing around with the motor. Or the engine. There we go. We're going to run a Hemi 4-speed. I didn't want to get too carried away with all this stuff. Of course, I say that. And I found a set of valve covers. Well, one valve cover is practically done. The other one's 3/4 of the way done. But anyway, more of a billet styled Hemi valve cover. This is all made out of evergreen plastic, various sizes and thicknesses. There's a side view. They're a little taller than the stock ones. And how I done this is, and I don't have the part number on this particular piece, but it measures out to be a 2.5 by 6 inch in real size. Anyway, I cut them close to length, stacked them side by side. I'm hoping you can see this in the video, but looks like 4 pieces stacked or glued together, stacked this way. And actually that piece is not the piece I used. I'm sorry, fellas. This must be it. This is what I used. Yeah. Anyway, I glued them together. Like I said, took 4 pieces to get the width. Took a piece of 40 thousandths to get it hold up here. to give this little raised area right here to come up and over. Well, it was a flat piece, and then I just took my sanding stick and gradually sanded at an angle this way to get that little roll in it. That's how I done that part. As far as where the valve cover bolts will go, here, and here, as well as at the bottom, I just kind of copied the stock one, put me a hash mark where each one went, took my razor saw, laid this thing in my miter box, made a couple of slight cuts in it, and then took a triangle file and filed them in a little deeper till I got the desired depth. Did that all the way around. Now here, this one's closer to being done. You can see I did the corners too. I cut a little bit, or sanded kind of the angle I needed, which is, they don't really go round, they come and it's kind of an angle cut. I did a little bit of that and then did the same thing to get everything lined up. All the corners are done. You can see where that one's got it. This one, I kind of missed my mark on this bolt, on this spark plug hole, so that's got to be fixed. What I done there is I measured the width about location of where the spark plug's supposed to go from the stock valve cover, drew the line out, spaced them accordingly. Like I said, I just missed with that one, but I'll throw a little mud in that hole and re-drill it. Seriously thinking about using these on the motor for this car. They fit quite nice. The flange is done out of a piece of, well, come on, focus. The flange is a piece of 20 thousandths glued to the rest of the valve cover and then sanded to shape. But as you can see, we've got a good, nice little fit. Bam! There we have a billet style or fabricated style valve cover for a 426 Hemi. Like I said, I did those a couple of years ago, and I've decided I'm 50-50 about using them on this. Most likely I will. We'll just have to wait and see. Alright, well, this video's running a little longer than expected, but I should know better by now. Well, fellas, that's it on this. That's all the update is on this 64 Plymouth right now. If this is your first time viewing my channel, please consider subbing my channel. Hit that notification bell. Also, if you like what you see here, please hit that like button. All of us creators out there need y'all to hit that like button. It helps us out with YouTube. My regular and loyal subscribers watching this video, thank you all very much for taking the time out of your day to watch one of my videos. With that being said, folks, live, love, and laugh. Remember, build the model for you. And anybody out there, if you've got a shop card and like to do a shop card swap, there's my email. Just send me an email to this address, put shop card in the subject matter, and we'll do a shop card swap. So, thank you everybody for viewing my videos, for subscribing, and hitting that like button. And please, if you like what you see, if you don't like what you see, comment down below. Let me know what you think. I love reading your comments. Alright everybody, y'all take care, and I'll see you in the next video.